when I bought this motor, it was in a few pieces. I don't believe this exhaust cover was on there. I think the heads are off too. And the bolts came in a jar of bolts, cup of bolts, cup of soup. I call it cup of soup. Anyway, so it's kind of a jigsaw puzzle trying to figure out what bolts go where. And you can go to the website, download or just open up Mercury's parts manual, and they'll show you what the bolts are, so you can measure them and figure out the thread count. You can figure out which ones they are. I found the ones. I assume these were the correct ones, and I had the exact right amount for this exhaust manifold. So I got those. Found these bolts for the heads, of course. You know the story on that. I've got new ones coming because I'm not going to use them twice, even though it's expensive. I'm going to use, it says right on the head. Head bolt torque, blah, blah, blah. Do not reuse head bolts. That's from Mercury. Of course, Mercury also put this thing in their motor. But I'm going to do what they said. It ran for 20 years with the original bolts in, so I bought new bolts. They're on their way. Hopefully they'll be here after I get back from my vacation. We'll pop those babies on. Maybe I'll do the intake before I go on vacation. We'll flip it around and do the intake, carburetor and stuff. It'll be fun to put that on. It's getting there. It's exciting. Have you ever seen $162 worth of screws? These are the head bolts. There's 25 of them. You only need 24, but with one more, I get free shipping. So it actually worked out to buy one extra. It's cheaper to buy 25 than 24. Okay, installing these 6. Had to go look through the bucket of bolts. There were 6 of them. According to diagram, they're 5/16 with 18-inch or 18 thread, and that's what these are. These have 18 thread. I've got a little gauge that shows your thread size. Came with my tap and die set. So that's what these are. And if you look in the manual, it says they're 1.5 inches long, and these are 1.5 inches long, and there's only 6 of them, so I'm guessing this is where they go. They fit in there perfectly. They're the right length. I don't know because I didn't take them out. At least if I did, I don't remember taking them out. Maybe I did. It's been 2 years at least. So I was building a house 2 years ago. Last year we were building a fort for the grandkids. So that was in the fall though. I don't know what else I was doing. Something. I need an extension to get down in there. Just gonna throw off my torque specifications. My book says 180 pound inches. According to the interweb, divide by 10? 12. 12. Divide by 12. So wait a minute, that's not 18 then, that's... Get my calculator out. Hold on a second. What's 180 divided by 12? 15. 15 foot-pounds. 18, 17, 18, 15. Probably with this extension, that'd be about right anyway. What I like to do is I like to guess first by hand and then go back with the torque wrench. See how close it was. I've taken a lot of bolts out of aluminum engines. All my Hondas have aluminum engines, so I've taken a lot of those apart, or the transmission, changed a lot of clutches and transmissions. A lot being half a dozen. most of them go. I drive mine at least 200,000 or 300,000 miles. I've had several that I've driven over 300,000 miles. Clutch goes around 180, 190,000. Automatic transmissions on the older ones, not so good. They only last about 100,000 miles, 120,000. So I always use a torque wrench, but you kind of feel the size of bolt they are, how tight they're supposed to be. Little hose in the way here. Should have taken it off. I know I'm going to replace it anyway. Here's that one. I'm going to replace all these lines too. I left them on just so I know where they go instead of having to look. I have a diagram. But it's just, this wasn't really in the way, so I left it and helped these other guys on too. One was in the way. Caused a problem with my gasket material. I had to take it off and redo it. You guys didn't see that. All right, it's on there. All right, here's the exhaust. I don't know the official term. Exhaust manifold, exhaust splitter. The gasket on it is super thick. It's really thick, and it's on there. A razor blade alone won't peel it off. At least mine, this thing's been on for 20 years. It's pretty hard. So what I did is, I was going to buy some gasket remover. There's CRC makes gasket remover. I'm sure it works great, but I have to drive all the way across town to get it. And I read somewhere that something says you can use a stripper. So I tried some of this and it took it off nicely. You have to let it sit for a while. Come on, baby. It's a little thick. I've had this stuff for years. Come on there. And just glob some on there. Let it sit. Glob some on here a while ago. And you just gotta be careful you don't scratch this. These scratches are very light. On the edge was bumpy, so it didn't damage the surface. So it's still flat there, but you gotta be careful you don't. I was using this, and I pressed really hard going backwards. If you go this way, it's sharp. I could cut into that. So don't recommend using that. Try a razor blade, but early on when I tried the razor blade with just the gasket, it didn't have enough power to get that thing off. And so this gasket material, you can go a little bit at a time, scrape some off, it eats it up, and then you can go put some more on. You can actually go backwards with this thing and take it off as well. I've got it almost flat, so it's not really, shouldn't be able to grab the metal and scrape it. So anyway, I'll probably fast forward this because this is going to be super boring, but maybe at high speed it'll look great. This stuff is pretty caustic. I have a vinyl magnetic cover on my table saw, and I was doing this on my table saw, and some of this goop went through the holes, landed on the cover, and it chewed the protective covering off of it. Oh man, I've had that thing for 20 years. It chewed it up. So get something, a sacrificial something underneath, piece of cardboard or something that you don't care if it gets destroyed. I had this board laying around. The other side looks terrible, so I'm not going to be able to use it for anything. Okay, took this over to the sink and rinsed it out with, it had a lot of gook in these, there's water passages here, so make sure you get that cleaned out really well. They're all interconnected, but probably the leftover from this and stuff went down in there, but it came out really easy. Just kept rinsing it and it looks pretty good. I have a couple of spots I'll probably clean up here with razor blade, and there's a couple bumps here somewhere that, I mean, it's mostly flat. There's a little bump here and there that I thought, I'm gonna sand that out, file it out. I'll find it, but you can probably put a gasket on it just like that, and I think we're gonna be good. So yeah, that was still a lot of carbon on this, but it's gonna get carboned up as soon as we fire it up, so I'm not worried about cleaning that. Got some water in it still, but I'm assuming this is a closed or open system for water, for cooling. I haven't read the book. I gotta find out. If it is, whatever gets flushed in will probably get flushed back out, but you just don't want anything clogged in there, get stuck in the passages. The nice thing about this, if it fails, I don't know how I'd know if it fails, but this cover is easy to get to. So if I had to redo it, the bolts can be taken off and reused again. So it's not like I have to worry about bolts stretching and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna cut this thing off right there. I just did it, guys. I cut it off, so I don't think it's a major deal. I'm gonna put a little grease on here just to hold that thing temporarily while we put it in there. Probably use Loctite or something too, I suppose. But it just gotta stay, has to stay there just till I install it. I think that'll do the trick. I've cleaned this gasket off. It's nice and smooth. Can you see that? A little bit, yep. So this guy goes right on there, like that. Check that out. The extra that I cut off dropped right in here. That's not good. Okay, it's out of there. All right. That all looks good. What am I missing? Anything? I don't think so. The book says to apply light oil, so you know me, I'll slather it on there and there'll be tons of it. Light oil to the bolt. This one in there first. I double check, make sure this is smooth everywhere. I think it's good. All right, we're going in there. We're going in. Don't want it to fall off. I think it went in there. All right. These are numbered. Yeah, I'm putting in number 18 right now. That's just to hold it temporarily. I'm gonna put one here just to hold it temporarily. Then I'll put them in order the correct way. Okay. Number one. Do all these have lock washers on them? They all have washers on them. They're not lock washers. Doesn't say anything about Loctite. I don't see any Loctite on them. Number 1 is right here. Is that the right one? Uses 1, 2, 3, 4 up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is 3 from the bottom. I'm going to snug those up a little bit just so my seal doesn't fall. I don't think it can go anywhere, but and which wrench are we using today? This guy? Yeah. Oh yeah. It's so nice putting in new parts. So much fun, guys. So much fun. We got these bolts over here. Three's right there. 4's below 1. 5 is above 1. We'll snug those down. Six is above 3. Seven is below 2. Heading to Alaska tomorrow. Alaskan cruise, first cruise ever. And I should be excited, but I'm more excited to put this thing together. I can't wait to get back. Been to Alaska a couple times. My wife or my daughter used to live there. It's beautiful. You probably couldn't see it all in a lifetime. It's so pretty, but I'm excited to get this back together. I want to fire it up and test it out before we have to chip a hole in the ice to put the boat in the water. As long as it's not iced up, you can still drive it. 2 strokes work great when it's cold, right? Snow wheels. Which number am I on? It's number 7. I think it's number 8. It's over here. Yeah. Number 9 is where? Up here. Number 10 is over here. I've been looking forward to have this engine running for 3 years now, since I bought the boat. I've only been looking forward to this trip for a few months, so excited about this. That was number 10. Number 11 is down here. Not like it matters right now. I'm not torquing it with my fingers, but just have a method for madness. 11, 12 right there. is where? There's no 13. 12. There's no 13. I gotta look at this. There's no 14 either. I guess I go right to number 15. It's right here, which makes sense. Look this up. Do you see a 13 or a 14 on that? Manuals aren't always accurate, are they? Okay, so we'll go number 15, which would make sense. Down here. Heavy on the light oil. Okay, it's number 16. 17 is that one that we put in without oil, so we gotta take him back out. It's slippery for some reason. I don't know why that could be. Definitely tell the difference if it has oil on it or not. It just goes in there easily. A little oil on it. 17, 18 and 19 up here. Did I put oil on this one? I thought I did. Nope, I didn't. If I did, I didn't put much on there. 18, 19's right here next to it. Probably should have gloves on. 19, 20's right there. 21 and 22. So really, there's only 20 bolts, since the drawing's wrong. Right? Did I just put that one in? 20, 21, 22. No, this is 21, 22. And 22. Have to do something. You do something every day on this thing, and something it just starts happening. These things seem like, gosh, I'm not making any progress, but every time I come down here, the engine looks different. All right, 180 pound inches. Why don't they put this in foot pounds? 180 divided by 12. What's that, like 12? No, it's not 12. 11? 180 divided by 12. 15. Okay, so I'm gonna guess 15 foot-pounds, and then we'll torque it down. So number 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4 up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 2, right here. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You still watch me? Yeah. 11. 12. There's no 13. There's no 14. There's a 15. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. And 22. Alright, let's see how close I was. Switch this to 15 foot-pounds. It starts at 25 on that. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 15 foot-pounds. Number 1 is 4 up from the bottom. Went off a little bit. There's 1. 2 is down. 2, 3. 4. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 'There's no 13. There's a 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. Can't hurt to test them all again. It's an exhaust cover. It's not going anywhere, but man, it still had some go to it, didn't it? Each one had a little bit of movement. Maybe that seal was compressing or something. Sauce cover on.